describing Harry is called being high. I mean, it brings new meaning to your highness. This is a dangerous
That's his
conversation.
new nickname.
Imagine having the fame, the fortune, the royal title, and still managing to trip over your own ambition in front of the world. That's exactly what just happened to Meghan Markle. Her shiny new brand launch wasn't just a flop, it was a full-blown crash landing that even her most loyal supporters are struggling to spin. But here's the twist. While Meghan fumbled jars of jam, Prince Harry was showing signs of something far more disturbing. Let's rewind to the beginning of this mess. Meghan's latest project, her return to the world of branding, should have been a big moment. After all, she's a duchess with a massive following and a media machine behind her. So when American Riviera Orchard dropped with a glossy pastel Instagram aesthetic, royal watchers expected something major. Instead, what they got was a bizarre mashup of luxury jams, dried flower jars, and fancy table spreads that looked more like Pinterest clutter than a serious product line. But here's where it got weird. Meghan's team claimed everything sold out instantly, within minutes. Sounds impressive, right? Except people who were actually trying to buy said the site was showing items as sold out the second it went live. No time to shop, no confirmation emails, just immediate out-of-stock tags across the board. It didn't feel like hype, it felt like a stunt. A forced scarcity trick meant to create buzz without actually delivering anything. And that's when the whispers started. Was this launch even real? Things only got more awkward from there. The promotional video for the brand didn't exactly inspire confidence. Meghan looked off. Not composed, not confident, just tired. The framing was weirdly tight, as if they were hiding something. Her smile seemed forced, her voice too upbeat to be believable. She looked like someone trying to hold it together with duct tape and caffeine. Viewers immediately picked up on it. Something wasn't right. This wasn't just another celeb pushing a product. This was someone visibly under pressure. And it wasn't just the vibe, it was the products themselves. Let's start with those flower jars. What are they even for? They weren't candles, weren't potpourri, and definitely weren't food. Just petals and glass. No story, no explanation, just aesthetic. It felt like a lifestyle brand with no lifestyle behind it. Just surface-level pretty. No function, no meaning. The whole thing screamed, "Look, I'm fancy," without giving anyone a reason to care. Then came the jam. Or, as Meghan insisted, her signature fruit spread. But according to actual experts, people who know how to make preserves, this wasn't jam at all. The texture was all wrong, the ingredients too generic, and the process, let's just say a respected name in the preserves world said point blank, "This is what you call a fruit spread when your jam doesn't set." Ouch. When the queen of jam calls your product a failed experiment in a jar, the damage is done. Now, while all this was going down, something else was unraveling in the background. And it wasn't a recipe. It was Prince Harry. Lately, Harry's public appearances have been raising serious eyebrows. Gone is the energetic, slightly cheeky prince the world used to love. What we're seeing now is a man who looks lost, tired, robotic. His speeches lack fire. His eyes often look glassy. He's not the same. And royal insiders are beginning to worry out loud. This isn't coming out of nowhere. Harry has a long history of emotional struggles. He's been open about it. He's talked about the trauma of losing his mother, the pressure of growing up under the world's microscope, and yes, how he turned to alcohol and other substances to numb the pain. That's not gossip. It's straight from him. But now, the concern is that the cracks are showing again. There was a photo taken in London, just a candid shot, but people couldn't stop talking about it. The vacant stare, the disconnected body language. He looked like a man floating, not walking, detached, like he wasn't really there. Some royal commentators even hinted, without saying it directly, that Harry may be slipping back into old habits. No one's confirmed anything, of course, but the silence from his team, that's deafening. When Harry's thriving, they promote it everywhere. Interviews, engagements, happy photos with the kids. Now, we get the occasional bland statement or stiff photo op, and that's it. No warmth, no authenticity, just noise control. And through all of this, Meghan. Not as the villain, necessarily, but as a figure in the middle of chaos. Her brand is floundering. Her image is fuzzy. One moment she promises to be transparent and connected to her audience. The next she's faking a product sellout and vanishing from public view. It's inconsistent and frankly, it's confusing. Is she an entrepreneur, a duchess, a disruptor, an influencer? At the moment, she's not clearly any of those things. Just a name trying to move overpriced lifestyle goods. And let's not forget the marketing. Oh, the marketing. Pastel filters, cursive fonts, cheers darling captions. It all feels dated, like a time capsule from a Tumblr board in 2013. There's no edge, no heart, and definitely no Meghan in the branding. It's like someone else is running the show, and they forgot what authenticity looks like. Even her fans, the once vocal Sussex squad, have started questioning the direction. Who is this for? Who's buying this? And what's the point? Even worse, if the products really did sell out, the total numbers were embarrassingly small. Sources suggest she barely moved a few $1,000s in product. That's not a brand. That's a boutique hobby. You can't build an empire on 4 jars of jam and a bouquet of dried petals, especially not when your audience is quietly walking away. Meanwhile, one man has kept his mouth shut, but his concern is written all over his face: King Charles. Insiders say he's watching everything unfold with growing anxiety, not about the public relations side, but about his son. Because at the end of the day, Harry may be a former working royal, but to Charles, he's still family, still his boy. And what he's seeing, it's starting to scare him. People close to the king say he's torn. On one hand, he wants to step in, offer guidance, maybe even help behind the scenes. On the other, he knows Harry has to face the consequences of his choices. For years, Charles covered for his son, tried to protect him, give him a soft landing. But there comes a point where a parent stops cushioning every fall. Word is, Charles has reached that point. There are even whispers, quiet ones, that Charles might still be supporting Harry and Meghan financially, despite their infamous "we were cut off" claim. If it's true, it's likely a last-ditch effort, a quiet safety net while the Sussex brand struggles to stay afloat. But it won't last forever. The crown doesn't bankroll chaos indefinitely. Then there's Princess Eugenie, perhaps the only royal who hasn't fully distanced herself from the couple. She's maintained friendly ties with both Harry and Meghan, even after the rift. So, when she was recently seen at a royal event chatting with one of Meghan's close friends, speculation reignited. Is she a bridge between the Sussexes and the monarchy? A peacekeeper? A spy? The theories flew fast, but in truth, Eugenie might just be doing what everyone else in this saga should have done: staying neutral, staying kind, and staying out of the headlines. So where does this leave us? With a failed product launch, a fading brand, a prince who looks more lost by the day, a family stretched thin between duty and heartbreak, and a public that's beginning to lose interest, because that's the real risk here. Not scandal, not criticism, but apathy. If Meghan and Harry want a second act, they're going to have to dig deeper than curated photos and quick buck branding. They need a reset. Not another press release, not another project. A real reset. With honesty, strategy, and a willingness to drop the smoke and mirrors. Because royal titles and nostalgia aren't enough anymore. The public isn't buying the illusion. They want to see real people, making real choices with real consequences. Until then, the cracks in the foundation will only keep spreading, and this once promising fairy tale will continue to unravel in front of the world, one empty jar at a time. And yet, for all the external chaos, failed products, public concern, royal silence, there's something even more troubling happening underneath: the erosion of public trust. When Meghan and Harry first stepped back from royal duties, they positioned themselves as victims of an outdated institution. They told the world they wanted privacy, healing, and independence. And for a while, people believed them. But now, that narrative feels harder and harder to accept when every few months there's a new product, a new podcast, a new special, a new spectacle. The message doesn't match the reality anymore. It's become a pattern. They present themselves as champions of mental health while launching products that feel emotionally vacant. They talk about authenticity while every post is hyper-filtered and carefully controlled. They claim to want peace, but constantly stir up drama, even indirectly. It's not the presence of contradictions that bothers people, it's the lack of awareness about them. There's no acknowledgement, no self-correction, just more content, more noise. And slowly, even fans are starting to check out. Behind all the headlines and hashtags is a very real, very human question. Are Meghan and Harry okay? Not as brands, not as public figures, but as people. The exhaustion shows. The smiles look forced. The stories feel scripted. When you strip away the titles, the production teams, the image making, what's left? A couple who once had the world's attention, now trying to keep it, not with purpose, but with distractions. And distractions don't build legacies, they just buy time. Then there's the financial elephant in the room. Netflix, Spotify, book deals. Those were supposed to be the big wins. But one by one, those partnerships have started to fizzle. Spotify pulled the plug early. Netflix hasn't been shy about cutting underperforming content. And Harry's tell-all memoir, it made a splash, sure, but even that seems like a one-time burst, not a long-term foundation. The brand they're building doesn't seem sustainable. It's one headline away from collapse, and you can't build a future on instability. And yet, despite everything, there's still a strange sense of hope circling this couple. Maybe it's because the world loves a comeback story. Maybe it's because people can see the potential beneath the chaos. Meghan is articulate, driven, and clearly intelligent. Harry has lived through more pain than most, and still carries a boyish vulnerability that people connect with. The raw materials for a powerful redemption arc are all there, but time is running out to shape them into something lasting. If they want to turn things around, they'll need to do what they've been avoiding: go quiet. Not in a calculated, media-managed way, but in a genuine way. Step back, reassess, connect with who they are, not who they think they need to be for clicks. Build something real, something with depth. That's how trust is rebuilt, not through another launch, but through lived experience and humility. Because right now, the story of Meghan and Harry is starting to feel less like a new chapter, and more like a slow fade. Not with a bang, not with a scandal, but with silence. The kind that comes when people simply stop paying attention. And for two people who once had the world hanging on every word, that might be the harshest ending of all.